In 1863, a Union surgeon wrote that the men who survived were not the strongest. They were the ones who knew how to cook. It was survival cooking, the kind that turned acorns into flour and pine needles into medicine. Number 17 was so valuable, Confederate generals ordered men to forage for it. Number 4 contains more vitamin C than orange juice. These 25 recipes kept 2 million soldiers alive. Then they vanished because food companies needed us to forget them. Hit subscribe and let's count down. Hardtack, the tooth cracker. Before meals, ready-to-eat and protein bars, the Union Army issued 3-inch squares of flour and water, baked until they could survive a decade in storage. Soldiers called it sheet iron, worm castle, or simply tooth dullers. The official recipe was brutally simple: 1 pound of flour, a half teaspoon of salt, and just enough water to form a stiff dough. Baked at 400 degrees for 30 minutes, then flipped and baked again until every trace of moisture vanished. The result was a cracker so hard that soldiers routinely broke teeth trying to eat it straight. Veterans learned to soak it in coffee for hours or fry it in bacon grease until soft enough to chew. Letters home described the weevils that infested old batches, how men would tap the crackers on rocks to shake loose the larvae before eating in the dark so they could not see what remained. A single box of hardtack cost the Army about 6 cents and could sustain a soldier for days. The recipe worked so well that Antarctic explorers were still packing hardtack in 1910. Today, survivalists have rediscovered what 2 million Civil War soldiers knew: properly made hardtack lasts years without refrigeration. Your emergency kit probably does not have any. Number 24. Skilly-Gilly, the bacon grease salvation. When hardtack alone threatened to crack every molar in the regiment, soldiers invented Skilly-Gilly. Take your weevil-infested crackers, break them into chunks with a rifle butt, and soak them overnight in cold water. In the morning, fry the softened pieces in bacon fat until the edge is crisp and the middle turns almost creamy. Some regiments added a splash of molasses when they could find it. Others crumbled in whatever dried meat they had. The grease transformed that tooth-breaking square into something that almost resembled food. Diaries from the Siege of Vicksburg describe men trading tobacco rations for extra bacon grease just to make Skilly-Gilly edible. The fat provided calories their bodies desperately needed, while the frying killed whatever creatures had taken up residence in the flour. Modern nutritionists would recoil at the saturated fat content. But those soldiers understood something we have forgotten. In a survival situation, calories are king, and fat keeps you alive when nothing else will.